guys? Matt here. Welcome to the spoiler review of Lord of Chaos. I'm in a different place. I'm in our living room right now. I love my creases, so I'll give you my creases. So, what I've got to talk about today is just the spoilers, or my spoiler review for this 1,015 page Wheel of Time novel. This is book 6 in the Wheel of Time, and I'm excited to talk about it. So, let's bring you a little closer in here. We'll see how that does. Alright, so first, we're going to talk about Rand bonded by Alanna. This was crazy. I didn't expect this at all, so I was very interested to figure out kind of her details on why she did it. Alanna is a green Aja who decided to bond Rand against his will. This was a very sad scene for Rand, and I really don't know what that means for the two of them, as well as Elaine. Elaine still wants to bond Rand. Can he be bonded twice? I don't know. Later we learn that Alanna also wanted to compel Rand to listen, but she couldn't because Rand was too strong. And also, male channelers have never been bonded before. I look forward to seeing what happens. A lot happens in this book, so we'll kind of talk about the things that happened. Some parts of the book built things that seemingly aren't going to be resolved for books to come, but other things are resolved that were involved in this book, so that's good. And I wrote this a little bit out of chronological order, so we'll see what to do. Yeah, let's move on. So there were a lot of Forsaken. From the very beginning of the book, we got a lot of Forsaken, and it was awesome, actually. I love the Forsaken perspectives. I love these people that have been around for thousands of years, that know a lot of things from the past and are connected to the Dark One. I'm really interested about that. We got a lot, or a little bit of the Dark One in this book, and I look forward to seeing more of that. So we'll see what happens. These plots in this book seem to be a building plot, something that wasn't really resolved this book. But there are still a lot of Forsaken out there, and we even got some Forsaken that were brought back to life in different bodies, which I'm really interested in. The Erengar and Osengar. So I'm excited to figure out more about them. I believe Erengar is Balthamel from the Eye of the World. I'm interested to see. I would guess the other one would be Agonar. We don't know that yet. We'll have to see. Rand's amnesty with male channelers. This I was very, very excited about. Rand, being the Dragon Reborn, the Karakarn, and such, needs a lot of male and female channelers at his side when it comes time for the last battle. This is a great way to start. Wow, this was amazing. It's also interesting that in the beginning of the book we get Mazrim Taim, and he came to Rand. And at the end of the book, as we'll talk about soon, Mazrim Taim was a big piece in that. We also get the introduction of the Black Tower. This is something that I caught a glimpse of as a bit of a spoiler. I didn't know much about it. My initial impression was that the White Tower would have been taken over by the Black Aja, becoming the Black Tower. But this is different. This is the male channelers that Taim has brought in with his recruiting, and taking to the place that they are at. In the beginning of the book, it's called the Farm, but now it's the Black Tower. At the end of the book, which we'll talk about, there are over 200 male channelers that have been recruited. Rand and Taim want to match the White Tower by the end of a year, in book time, or in world time. And from what I can see, I think they will. We also get the introduction of the... Oh man, I read these things and I never say them out loud. The Ashaman. This is the highest rank of a male channeler at the Black Tower. This is the old tongue word that means guardian or defender of justice. Rand came up with this system. There will be levels like the White Tower Aes Sedai. First soldier, next dedicated, then Ashaman. I do find it interesting that Rand is completely separating the male channelers, the Ashaman, from the current White Tower Aes Sedai. Before, all channelers were Aes Sedai. We'll have to see what happens there. Speaking of the White Tower, Egwene Alvir becomes Amyrlin, is raised to the Amyrlin seat in this book. There are a lot of things that go on in this book. I digress. Egwene being Amyrlin is incredible. I really, really liked this book as a whole. Egwene traveled to Saladar through Tel'aran'rhiod and showed up and was raised Amyrlin in Saladar. Now, I look forward to seeing what happens with this because there are a lot of plotting going on around Egwene being the Amyrlin, with the Saladar Aes Sedai trying to control Egwene, with the multiple people trying to control Egwene as Amyrlin. I think they chose her because she could be controlled, but Egwene will not be controlled, and it is awesome. She also raised Nynaeve and Elaine to full Aes Sedai. None of them have taken the 3 oaths yet. I'm interested in figuring out what that's all about. I don't know if they ever will take the 3 oaths, but I assume when they get back to the White Tower, whenever that will be, they will take the oaths, perhaps. Egwene as Amyrlin was part of Egwene's accepted test in The Great Hunt, I think. So, partial foreshadowing from way back then. Robert Jordan, incredible. Egwene also loves Gawain, and Gawain loves Egwene. So that was cute. Perrin is back. Perrin, Faile, Gaul, Bane, Chiad. Perrin meets Faile's parents. That goes poorly at first, but then they accept him, and now they want grandchildren, a lot of grandchildren. Perrin also is harassed by Barrowlane, and Faile is super jealous and is mean to Perrin about it. Also, Perrin left the 2 rivers at the beginning of the book because he was feeling the Taviran pull from Rand. Perrin also led an army at Dumai's Wells, which I look forward to talking about. Loyal is also back. We got to meet some important people in his life. Elder Haman, Aerith, and Ogier, who wants to marry him, and Loyal's mom. They are great. They were dropped off at the two rivers to find Loyal, but Loyal turned up in Caemlyn, so we'll see if they meet. We also go back to Shadar Logoth with Haman, Haman, Aerith, Loyal's mom, and a lot of Aiel. Rand is under the impression that he needs to block off all the waygates in the world. And these Ogier know where almost all of them are, even if they're not on the map. So, they all go to Shadar Logoth to block off the waygate and end up losing Leah and Aiel. Nynaeve heals Loghain, Swan, and Lyanna in this book. Holy cow. Nynaeve, I love Nynaeve. I'm a big fan of Nynaeve, so this was a great book for her. Nynaeve healed Loghain's Gentling, Swan, and Lyanna's Stilling. Nynaeve is very good at healing using all of the aspects of the power: spirit, fire, air, water, and earth. But for this healing, it was pretty specific that Nynaeve used spirit and air. Loghain is as strong as he was before he was gentled when he was healed, but Swan and Lyanna are very weak in the power. Don't know what that means. Nynaeve, now being raised to Aes Sedai, she chose the Yellow Aja, the Healing Aja. Nynaeve still has a block, so she has to be angry to channel. I hope she breaks that soon. Elaine chooses the Green Aja because she wants to bond multiple warders, I believe is her. That, and she wants to be a battle Aja like the Andorran queens before. Elaine has made a lot of discoveries this book with the help of Moghedien and Saladar. Moghedien was actually Merrigan in Saladar, using an inverted weave illusion so she couldn't be noticed. And at any point, Nynaeve, Egwene, or Elaine are wearing the Adam bracelet for Moghedien. But Elaine is able to make an Adam and multiple copies of Terangriel rings, or Tel'aran'rhiod Terangriel rings, so that people can visit Tel'aran'rhiod. That's it. I loved Nynaeve in this book. Rand and Lews Therin. Lews Therin, are you really there, is my question. I really want to know if Lews Therin is actually in Rand's head. I don't know what that means. He communicates with Lews Therin and eventually has a small conversation while Rand is in the box, which we'll talk about. But I don't really know. I want to know more. Okay, quick summary. Rand also meets with the embassies, the White Tower Embassy and the Saladar Embassy. A lot of posturing by all parties. Rand from Lews Therin. Rand, using Lews Therin, chooses to have only 3 Aes Sedai at a time, so Rand can't be taken advantage of shielding. That is great foreshadowing by Robert Jordan, because eventually we see that Rand gets taken over by more than that. Yes, sir.
I love you.
I love you. What's amazing, the hinting that Robert Jordan did was, if you read in the early meeting, Rand comes down from his throne and checks if everyone's an Aes Sedai, which we'll see eventually right here. Not in chronological order, but Rand was kidnapped. Okay. Eventually, the White Tower Aes Sedai Embassy, including some Black Aja, come to take Rand out to with 15 Aes Sedai. That's a lot. They shielded him, kidnapped him, shoved him into a box. There are some incredibly difficult to read scenes coming up with Rand being tortured by the Aes Sedai. First off, I think it's a little bit of Rand's fault. That doesn't give them any passes for torturing him, but it's a little bit of Rand's fault because Rand has a lot of Aiel to protect him, but he asked them to stay away. So when Rand is taken, no one knows where he is for a long time. It was very hard to read the way they were torturing him by folding him into the box, hitting him with air, make him feel like he was burning. Awful. It was horrible, hard to read. Robert Jordan, as you may know, was a helicopter gunner in the Vietnam War, so I think that he used some prisoner of war things like that to do that. The whole real ending, the whole ending of the book was many aspects of war, and it was brutal. If you read or listened to my other review, the human meat grinder, we'll get to that. Min is back. She kisses Rand a lot. Rand thinks she's just a good friend, but Min gets captured as well with Rand. Rand breaks out of the box and breaks the shield with the help of Lews Therin. I still don't know if Lews Therin is actually there. It's definitely an act of love from Rand going to save Min. Just beautiful. Rand also learns about his mother and father, which we've kind of had hints of from the beginning of the Eye of the World, but we finally get the answer. So Rand's mother is Tigraine, and father is Tarangale Damodred. So that means Gawain is Rand's stepbrother, I think. Half-brother. Something like that. Half-brother, probably. Rand was worried about being related to Elaine because he loves her. Turns out they're not related. Speaking of Elaine, Morghese. A lot of people think Morghese is dead. She's not. She's still around. She's hanging out with Pedron Niall and Amador. She recently signed a document with Pedron Niall that Pedron asked her to sign, which gives the White Cloaks a headquarters in Andor, and they can never be asked to leave. They can also police with their own law, not that of Andor. A hefty document. Also, Pater from the Eye of the World is dead. He was killed in a hanging. Ebu Dar. Ebu Dar is where Nynaeve, Elaine, Birgitte, Tom, Julian, Matt, and a few of his men are currently at. This is a dangerous place with a terangrium that supposedly can change the weather. We don't know if that's true. We call it the Cloud Bowl because we don't know the name of it just yet. We left that crew in a place called Rahad, a dangerous place in Ebu Dar where supposedly the bowl is. It's very hot because the Dark One supposedly is controlling the weather. The Aes Sedai kneel to Rand. This, after reading Dumais Wells, was insane. Rand did it. He made the Aes Sedai from Saladar kneel to him, and now we get to see the ramifications, hopefully in the ensuing books. They kneel to the Dragon Reborn. Will they serve them? We don't know. The Seanchan are coming back, and I'm so excited. We get hints and hints and hints of them in this book, and the epilogue showed a character who is Seanchan excited for the return. Here we go. Matt is awesome in this book. There's a very funny scene between Matt and Nynaeve and Elaine and Egwene in Saladar with the Amyrlin stole. The Saladar, fake Saladar, Amyrlin. Great scene. Must read. Matt also helps this boy Oliver, and Matt enlists him as his messenger. I like this connection, Matt and Oliver. That's exciting. Rand is also being more General Cawthon, and I love it. He has those voices in his head, which we didn't really get much this book, but I'm interested to see what happens next. Matt's so funny. Okay, Dumai's Wells. How do I begin? So, the quotes, Ashaman kill and human meat grinder. Does that give you an idea of what we see? So, this is the long lead up after after being in Rand's head for his torture, his dealings with the Ashaman at this point. Rand asked them to be literal weapons for him, and then they are. They absolutely massacred the Shido. I mean, decimated them. And that was their role. It was a brutal and horrifying read, but it was also amazing. After thinking Rand was going to be taken to the White Tower by these horrible Aes Sedai, and after the buildup of the Ashaman, we get Rand breaking out with, again, Lews Theron's help, him saving men, and then seeing the carnage of the Aes Sedai, the Aiel, the Kyrian, Perrin, Wolves, Loyal, and so many other people. An amazingly well-written battle, pretty understandable. A few books have a little bit hard to understand ending, but this one was good. It was insane, and I'm excited to read it again. I'm very interested to see the implications for what happens with the male channelers being unleashed, the Aes Sedai kneeling to Rand, and Lews Theron in Rand's head. That was Lord of Chaos. Amazing. 5 out of 5 everywhere. Read my my review to talk about my emotional score and the plot score and different things like that. But 5 out of 5. Wow. This is my favorite Wheel of Time book so far. 6 books in. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in another video. Bye.
Bye.
We should have one more video, the predictions video. We'll see how that goes. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.